Cool. All right. So whenever you're ready, just take it away. And if there's anyone who has issues with volumes, anything, just put it in chat, and I will fix that as soon as possible. Take it away,
Yep.
Ammar.
Yeah. So I hope you don't mind if I speak a bit before I do my piece. And I hope you don't mind me reading from a phone because my memory is bad and not a. I'm still an amateur poet. So this piece is very personal. It's about my relationship and how I feel about the patriarch of my family, my grandfather, and it's gonna be a bit sad. I hope. I mean, I hope it's not too sad, but here it is. It's called Maybe I Do. The earliest memory that I have is not even mine. It was told to me by my parents. I was 2 years old in my maternal grandparents' home, waiting for my parents to come back from the hospital. When they arrived, I saw my grandmother carrying what I soon realized was my baby brother. He was newborn. I was no longer the only son, I realized. Of course, naturally, I started crying, fearful of the possibility that I was going to be replaced. Then came to my rescue, a towering figure with a voice of faint gravel and calloused hands. I called him Ato. Ato. You see, because Atok is Ato, and that is what I call my grandfather on my mother's side. I call my grandfather on my dad's side Atuk, Atuk. So that's the difference. My parents told me that Atuk took me out to town that day to soothe my crying. He took me out on his old Nissan Sunny. He drove me to the quiet town of Kapar, 10 minutes away from his home and about an hour away from any sort of civilization. And we got ice cream. And that was how I saw Atuk. And as I grew up, I only saw him as a commanding presence, caring, loyal, hardworking, strong, simply tracing your fingers over his hands would tell you the most interesting stories. How he used to prank his teachers with shallots where he rubbed it on their chairs. So when a teacher wearing a skirt would sit down, they would itch, or where he purposefully put explosives in the school aquarium to kill the fish out of spite for the prefects in the school for telling on him for being late, or how he was made to climb a coconut tree until he learned how to anyam a proper ketupat by his father, and how he would tell me stories of going on dates with this nurse carrying a parang on his bicycle. And that nurse is now my grandmother. They still have their love letters. And they're still there. They're still there in Kappa. He lives with my grandmother, my aunt, and three more grandchildren to love and to rescue. Not much has changed there in Kappa, except for his age, and the old Nissan had been sold off a couple of years back for a new car. Me while I take a water break, because excuse me, I'm thirsty. Not much has changed. I I did. I have. I'm no longer that 2-year-old boy. I'm no longer a boy, not even a man. I'm no longer Muslim as he is. No longer straight. No longer a lot of things. And recently I had a dream few months ago. Um, I dreamt that I was in his living room. I was in his house, walking towards his living room. It felt like floating. I could vividly smell the smells that I remember smelling in the same house, Kapar. I reached the living room, and the first person I saw in the living room was myself in the street. And behind me was my grandmother, was my grandfather, my ato. It was lying down. And the other me, Ammar number two, a bit darker with sunken eyes and a sullen look on their face. And they said to me, so this is what you want. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him, Benjamin. This is what you want. This is, look at him. He's dead. Look at him. You are free now. This is what you always wanted. You can, now you are free. His mortality is your liberation when your mortality is your prison. And he's dead now, and you can wear all your lipstick, you can wear all your jewelry, you can grow your hair out, you can paint your nails, you can love whoever you want, you can stop pretending to pray at home, you can be who you want to be. And this is it. You have been waiting for this. You know you want this. And then I woke up. I woke up, heart pounding, heart racing, eyes tearing up, because I don't want my atuk to die. I don't wish that upon anyone, especially my flesh and blood. But as I was still hearing a voice of an alternate version of me in that dream, I thought to myself, maybe I do. And that's my story.